Hi everyone! Welcome back to my channel, and for those of you who don't know me, hi, my name is Froggo, and I make videos about things bracelet related. In today's video, I'm going to be reviewing another bead spinner, and I'm also going to be unboxing it for the first time. Before I start this video, please make sure to like and subscribe, and also check out my Etsy where I sell my jewelry. Let's get into it. Here is a full 360 of the package, and I've been wanting to open this for so long and use it, but I've had like zero time because I've been so busy lately, so it's just been like sitting on my shelf. I'm gonna peel off the tape now and then we'll see what's inside of this. I'm so excited. I love opening new stuff. This is so much fun. So here's the little like instruction manual. And then, oh, it came with some beads. I wasn't surprised when stuff comes with beads because it's like a complete set. And then we have our elastic string. And now the like actual important part, the bead spinner. That was not a very cinematic opening. But here it's in like this thing. And then we have like the thing that like makes it work. I'm excited to see what it looks like. So I guess this is just the top. I have no idea how this like even works, but I think that's needles inside of it. And then here's like the actual device thing. It looks like this comes with 2 needles, but I only need to use one, so I guess I'll just pull one out. I have no clue how to like assemble it though. That's the only thing that the instructions aren't very clear on. But I mean, it looks like it's pretty self-explanatory. This is really cool because it looks like a like shark fin, and it's really random, but like that makes me really happy. It says in the instructions that there are 2 different ways to turn it on, which is really nice because I don't know if I have like any batteries in my desk. I think I can only plug it in. I have now acquired another USB cord. Alright, so I changed the angles and I also plugged the USB cord, and then you can also see that on the bottom is where you would actually put in the like batteries if you were to use them. The needles are such like a funky shape because I've never seen needles that are shaped like this, but I think it's supposed to go over like the little blob thing in the center. The colors that they include with the bead spinner looks really cute, and then they also include the elastic string. Here are the colors. Oh, and there's also, what was that? There's like some red, there's some cute little letter beads, and then here's the like actual colors. And they look really cute. I'm excited to see what the bracelet will look like. Alright, so a bit of a different angle because I went to Hawaii on vacation and I'm back, but I didn't finish recording the video before I went because I've been so busy with school. So it's like 2 weeks later, and now I'm going to teach you guys how to actually use it. So I figured out like what, let me grab it, the like thread is for, and like I've just played around to make sure I can give you guys all the tips. So let's get into that now. I'm going to start by taking off the top so that I can fill up the beads. And it's really nice because there's a line that tells you like how many beads you should be putting in. And I'm just going to use the beads that they included because I don't really feel like choosing my own colors. You can just pour them all right in. I'm just going to pour in the whole bag, I think, because that's like about the same amount. The amount of beads I put in is a bit over the line, but I think that's fine. And then you just put the top right back in, and you want to make sure that like the funky looking needle is around this knob right in the center. I don't know if you guys can see it very well, but there's like a knob, and then the needle just goes around it, and that's how it picks up beads. The needle will look like it's at like a weird angle, like it kind of has that bend, but as you start like getting the beads on, it'll kind of correct itself. So I cut my thread, and I cut like a good amount. I don't really know measurements that much, but I'd say this is about a bit over a foot. You definitely don't need that much. I just want to be like safe about my measurements, and you can do this before or after you put the needle in. I'm just doing it after because I already have this on. But you just thread the thread through one time, and then you tie the ends just like this. It's a bit hard to tie actually because the thread is so thin, and it's funny because like I'm a bracelet maker, but like I'm actually so bad at tying things. But here you have like your knot, and you don't even need to cut off the end pieces because it's so thin that the beads will just go over it. Now I'm just going to loop the end of my string through like the other side of this thread, And they do include string. I think I showed you guys that, but I'm just going to use my favorite string because I want to give this bracelet to my little cousin because I think she'll really like these colors. But they do come with strings, so you don't need to get like specialized ones. It's like an entire kit that they have. Hopefully you guys can see this okay. I think I made the thread a bit too long, but it'll all work fine. To actually start the bead spinner, there's like this knob type thing on the front, and you just turn it on, and you start from like slower to faster. So since it's the beginning, the needle's like kind of funky. I don't know how to explain it, but it can like come off the knob thing. So if that happens, you can kind of just slow it down and recorrect it. Sometimes you'll need to like take off the thing, but that really only happens if there's a lot of beads like I put. So it'll be fine. It's not like something that happens a lot. And you just make sure it's on the knob and then you continue going. And what I do is I hold the needle like that for when I start going, just because then it makes the like angles a bit better, but after a while you don't need to do that because it'll kind of auto-correct. You can just turn it on up to the highest speed. It does take a while, but I like this because after a while you don't even need to do anything. All you need to do is make sure that the beads actually get onto the string. So like I could be using my manual spinner at the same time to make 2 bracelets. And then here you can see that the beads are actually going, and I don't really need to hold on to it anymore. You know, you can just like occasionally to make sure that it's going, but you can see the beads working down to the end of the needle, and then they're gonna fall onto that thread that we cut, and then you just make sure that they get onto the string. We got the first couple beads going down, and this is actually such a cool design because I've never seen like a bead spinner that actually have them fall onto a thread and then a string. The reason why it looks like this is coming up is just because I put a lot of beads in. I put a bit more than the line thing that shows how many beads to put. I feel like I got better at this because I've practiced with it a tiny bit. I don't know if that makes sense at all, but like I was working on this to make sure I gave you guys all like the right instructions. So I feel like I've kind of figured out a bit more about this. The instructions tell you stuff, but they don't tell you like the full overall picture. Like I didn't know to put the thread on. I only knew that because I watched a separate video. So hopefully that makes sense, but like hopefully this will help you because I'm telling you guys some of the stuff I didn't know already. Now that there's a good amount of like beads on the thread, you can just grab it and then make sure that they like go over the string, and you just weasel them onto the string like that. And then my string actually came out of the thing, and you could just loop it through the like end of the thread again. It's really easy actually. And you can see that this is actually working super well, and it gets faster and faster, I feel like. I think I put down the beads like literally 30 seconds ago, and I already have like a full second bracelet made. Like this is basically the equivalent of 2 bracelets, and it's still going, and it's actually getting like really fast. And it's just so nice to have just like off to the side. And it's nice because like you can do this and focus on something completely different. Like it doesn't even have to be bracelet related. Like I was doing this while I just watched TV, and I could like actually pay attention to the screen and have this going. Look how long this already is, and it's been going for like, I'd say 2.5 minutes, maybe, like around there. I don't know, I'm not very good at estimating time, but it actually gets so fast. I made this much worth of bracelet, which can just tell you like how fast this machine actually is. And once it gets going, it is going. And I forgot to tell you this earlier, but like you only need to cut your thread once because you can reuse it each time. So they actually include a bunch because I think that's if like you cut weird measurement sizes. But this comes with like everything you need, and I actually think this is such a good product. These colors are so cute, and these aren't even ones that like I had. This is just what they included. And I'm gonna tie it one more time, but like I actually think that this comes with literally everything you need to make a bracelet. So, I mean, this is definitely such a great deal. And like, you know how there's usually like bracelet kits? What I love about this is that it has like everything and then a bead spinner. Instead of like a $10 kit that's just beads, this is like $30 without my discount code, and it comes with literally everything you can need. So I'm just gonna cut off the end of this bracelet now, but like hopefully my cousin will like it because I think these colors are really cute. But I just want to like keep telling you guys how good this product is because I actually love this. The colors kind of remind me of like a cotton candy land, and I know my cousin will actually love this so much. Just wanted to show you guys, this kind of reminded me of spaghetti and it made me happy, so I wanted to include this clip. Another cool thing about this bead spinner is that it's compatible with a lot of different types of beads, so like obviously Haiti beads, and then also like seed beads and pony beads. If you wanted to add a charm on your bracelet and you were using this to make your bracelet, what you would do is you would just unhook the string part from the thread and then put the charm on and then re-put the string through the thread. They actually include like a really large amount of beads with this kit, so that's really nice. I really like how this bead spinner is completely different from other bead spinners I've tried in the past. The last bead spinner they sent me was more for like pattern type things, and you had to do a tiny bit of manual work, but not too much. This one is for like a randomized order of beads, and you barely have to do anything. Like you just have to make sure that the beads go from the thread to the string, and I think that's it. And it's so much faster than like a manual bead spinner. I don't know if that makes sense. Like these ones, and this one you have to hold like the needle and spin it with the other hand. This one you don't really have to do anything. And here's the size comparison, by the way. I don't think I showed you guys that earlier, but this bead spinner is actually really big. I would recommend this for like if you have a small business because you can make so much with this bead spinner in such a short amount of time. My favorite things about this bead spinner is the design, like needle design and how it works, and how there's like different speeds. And I really like how there are two different ways for it to like work, what with the batteries and the USB cord, because that's really nice for me when I can never find batteries and I have like somewhere right on my desk where I can charge it. The only thing I can think that I would change about this product is just the size, because it has to hold a lot of beads for it to start. But I really think that's just me finding things to complain about, because there's really nothing bad with this bead spinner. This bead spinner is a great gift for anyone that wants to get into beading or is already experienced, and I think this is really good for small businesses just because of the fact it can make so much at such a quick speed, and it can be used for like large quantities. If you are interested in buying this bead spinner, then make sure to use my code FG for 20% off of your purchase. There is a link in this video description to this product, and you can purchase this bead spinner through their website or on Amazon, but the code FG will only work through their website. So just keep that in mind. Alright, I think this is pretty near the end of this video. If you have anything else you'd like me to make a video about, then just comment it. And thank you so much for watching this video. It really helps my channel. Make sure to go check out my Etsy if you are interested in this type of jewelry, and watch my other videos please, because like that's how the algorithm works and it'd really help out my channel. I love you all so much, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye!